Greetings. Today I want to speak to you concerning the breathing trick that they don't want you to know. You see, your breath is actually the life force. And this life force is actually the sexual energy, the creative and innovative energy. And it lies at the base of your spine. That is why you have to breathe correctly. What do I mean by that? You have to practice daily diaphragmatic breathing, where you would intentionally flex the lower part of your stomach right above your sexual organ as you exhale and pleasure yourself. You'll feel a pleasurable feeling. And when you start to feel that pleasurable feeling, you raise that energy up your backbone. Okay? And while you're doing that breathing, you can also gently rub the back of your neck. Okay? What you're really doing there, you're using the inner sun, as in the SUN, the inner sun science and technology, to create your reality consciously. Let me explain and simplify it more for you so you'll understand where I'm coming from. You see, the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there's no life and there's no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. Therefore, from small, they rob you of your imagination. They rob you of all of your mental faculties, especially in your formative years when you enter the school system. It gets even worse. And if your parents were already ignorant of breathwork and how to breathe, and ignorant of their anatomy and their biology, their physiology, their psychology, if they're ignorant of self, then you know you're in deep trouble. And I'm saying all of this because as a melanated person growing up in the Caribbean islands, I know and understand why the people think and act the way they act, and the way they think, and how their belief system have been shaping every aspect of their lives. I come to understand why most of the people are tied up with the banks and the credit unions, because of a lack of understanding of themselves. So when I say to you that this breathing technique, they don't really want you to know how powerful it is, I'm saying to you is that this breathing technique is what you use to activate your inner power, which is actually the sexual power. That is why you have to breathe from your diaphragm. And so when you breathe in, your stomach's supposed to be filled with air. Okay? And your stomach should be pushing out like this. Just like the Buddha. When they show you a picture of the Buddha with a big stomach, it's not fat. Okay? It's a symbol, it's a sign. So when you breathe in like that, you breathe it in with your intention. Okay? And when you breathe out, you're sending out your intention, but you want to activate the sexual energy at the base of your spine. Okay? So, practice very early in the morning when you wake up. And then find time in the day to practice again. And then find time in the night to practice again, especially just before you go to bed. For example, when I say breathe in, when you breathe in like this, your stomach's supposed to come out like this. Okay? And when I say breathe out, your stomach's supposed to go in. So when you breathe out, your stomach goes in. Okay? And then you flex on that area. Okay? Also, you can use that breathing technique to give you a pleasurable feeling, and you can pleasure yourself right there. Okay, just by doing that breathing. So you can actually pleasure yourself from breathing. Okay, but they don't want you to know these things. That is why I've been doing a series of videos on masturbation for manifestation. And the carnal people think I'm talking about spilling your seed. They think I'm talking about this. I'm not talking about that. Okay? I'm talking about mental stimulation. I'm talking about mental exercise. That's what I'm really talking about. I'm talking about touching certain areas on your body, like the back of your neck, the top of your head, the outside of your ears, your nose to smell, your eyes to stare, your lips to speak, and also to taste. Okay? And you can do all of these things in the spiritual realm to manifest your every desire. And so when you pleasure yourself and you baptize yourself in the mood, in the feeling, that is a form of masturbation. But most people are so carnal and they look at so much pornography that they cannot understand what I am speaking or where I am coming from. So if you are new to this channel, okay, you can check out my other channel, which is called Black Mad Guru. Okay, and if you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. If you'd like to get my books, the links are in the description. I have more than 10 books to choose from. Also, I have my gratitude journal, journal for him and journal for her, where you can journal your life. And in each of those books, I start out with the affirmation saying, I'm so happy and grateful. And you're going to add the rest. Okay, I'm so happy and grateful. Now you add the rest of what you want, and you affirm these things in your life. But always arouse a certain feeling inside of you. And you can do it by starting to practice mindful breathing. Okay? So, pleasure yourself in the mood. Okay? And it will definitely become a reality in your life. Also, if you like to do a one-on-one with me, you can reach out to me by way of email. You can check out the link I have below on an app called Faithia. But that is more of a religious Christian kind of app. But I'm there teaching spirituality. So if you're open for that, okay, I can definitely work with you. Also, if you like to become a part of my page and community and support this work, you are most welcome. And I have a course that's called The Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that, I have a bonus course on self-concept. And for people who are donating $20 or more, you have access to the course and to the bonus course. Okay, the bonus one that is called self-concept. Okay, so my last encouragement to you is to make sure that you check out all of the links that are down below, and definitely let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. So with that being said, I just want to say peace, love you all, out.